You've probably talked to an AI. Maybe you asked it to write a poem or help with homework or just typed a weird question to see what it would say. But here's what almost nobody stops to ask. How does it actually work? It's not magic. It's not a robot with a tiny brain inside. The answer is stranger and way more interesting than you think. First, what even is AI? AI stands for Artificial Intelligence. Artificial means made by humans. Intelligence means the ability to learn, reason, and solve problems. So AI is a computer system that can learn to do tasks instead of following a rigid script written by a programmer. Old-school programs are like recipes. You write step 1, step 2, step 3. The computer follows exactly. But AI is different. AI looks at tons of examples and figures out the pattern itself. It's less like following a recipe and more like how you learn to recognize a dog. So how does AI figure out those patterns? Through something called training. Training is when an AI system looks at millions, sometimes billions, of examples and slowly adjusts itself until it gets really good at predicting the right answer. Think of it like shooting basketball free throws. You miss, you adjust, you shoot again. Eventually, muscle memory kicks in. AI does the same thing but it runs through millions of attempts in seconds. The thing doing the learning is called a neural network, named because it's loosely inspired by how neurons in your brain connect to each other. A neural network has layers of tiny math operations called nodes. Data flows in one end, gets processed through all those layers, and an answer comes out the other end. When the AI gets an answer wrong, it adjusts the strength of its connections, called weights, so it does better next time. Do this billions of times with billions of examples, and you get something that seems almost intelligent. Here's where it gets wild. AI systems like the ones powering chatbots didn't learn by being told facts. They learned by reading enormous amounts of text, books, articles, websites, and practicing one specific game. What word comes next in this sentence? Over and over, billions of times. That's it. No teacher, no whiteboard, just what word is probably next. And by getting incredibly good at that prediction game, the AI absorbed a vast map of how language works, how concepts connect, how ideas relate, how the world gets described in words. It doesn't understand the way you do. It doesn't have feelings or experiences, but it has built such a powerful map of language that it can answer questions, write essays, explain jokes, even debug code. This approach has produced AI that can do things that would have seemed like science fiction a decade ago. Write code, generate images from a description, help doctors detect diseases earlier, translate languages in real time. But it also has real limits. AI can be confidently wrong. It can reflect biases baked into the data it learned from, and it has no common sense the way you do. It has never touched a hot stove, never felt tired, never actually experienced anything. That's why the people working with AI matter just as much as the AI itself. The tool is powerful. Knowing how to use it wisely and when to push back and question it, that's the skill that actually matters. So, AI isn't magic, and it isn't a brain. It's a pattern-matching system trained on massive amounts of data, adjusting millions of tiny connections until it gets really good at predicting the right answer. It's impressive, it's useful, and it's only going to become more important in your lifetime. We're making a whole series on this. Next up, how AI generates images, and why those images sometimes have 6 fingers. Subscribe so you don't miss it, and drop your AI questions in the comments. We might answer yours in a future video.